All right, in my last video update, you guys saw that I took another FTMO challenge. This was my third attempt. The first two were done with some of my algorithms. I didn't pass them. And the third one, which I just finished, it's in my 11th day. I'm currently sitting on 11% profit, but I didn't pass the challenge. So I did meet the profit goal, but I broke one of the rules. And I broke one of the rules so slightly that it seems pretty ridiculous. So the max daily loss limit is 5%. On a $100,000 account, that would be around 5,000. Exactly $5,000 for a max daily loss. I hit $5,056. So I went over the daily loss limit by $56 because of a problem with my money management system. I didn't set it correctly, causing it to go exceed just beyond that. And unfortunately, I failed the challenge. So I contacted FTMO to see if there was anything that could be done, if they could push me through, just because I barely knocked one of the rules. But they're very firm on the rules and how and traders breaking them. So they declined, and I'm required to take another challenge if this is something that I want to do. So let's get into the charts. Let's talk about some of the details of how this happened. What did I do to make that 11% profit? And let's get into the charts now.
All right, so here we are on the FTMO back office. Just to quickly show you the stats, $11,000 profit over that. I passed all the requirements but the max daily loss, and I exceeded it by $64.80. So I think I said it was a little bit less than that in the beginning of this video, but yeah, it was about $64. Made some really big trades at the end of the challenge, and that's what kind of pushed me into the $11,000 profit range. But made a mistake on a trade before that, so it was a few of these losses here that caused me to exceed the daily loss limit, and that was mostly because of an error with an algorithm that I was using as money management to cut my losses when they hit 5,000. I had that calculated wrong, and it caused me to just exceed the $5,000 mark for the daily loss limit. So unfortunate, but it happened. So let's show you what this looked like. The big trade that actually caused me to almost pass the challenge was the Euro US dollar. So this is a trade that I took for about 40 pips. So you can see the entry right here. Exit was right there. And this system is based on an indicator that I've been working with, and I just actually created an algorithm for it today. And it's in the current its current setting, it's a loser. To be honest, it's not quite a profitable strategy, but on paper it looks great. And this is what I see happening with so many people all the time on YouTube and other places. And I find that most traders out there are kind of newbie traders, even though they don't think that they are. People even call me a newbie trader too, and I've been doing this for 15 years. And this on paper looks great, and so many people show that. They say, "Oh, I made a huge profit yesterday. I made a big profit the other day," and this was what kind of happened with my Nasdaq EA. So if any of you remember that EA that I was launching and then I took down off my website 48 hours later, because in the long term it showed losing results, and I don't want a strategy that's going to profit for a month and then lose the entire account the next month. And I want strategies that work in the long term. And so that's why a lot of times any ideas that I have, I put them into algorithms to see how they test over the long period, because strategies go through phases. They go through winning and losing phases, and when they're kind of flat. And it's really difficult to find a strategy that is well-rounded, that has been working over the last 5 to even 10 years of time. And that is the most tricky thing when it comes to trading the markets. So the issue with the people that you're influenced on either YouTube or other places, they show you trading stats for a couple weeks or a month, and they show you really good profitable trades. So for example, in the last couple weeks, this type of trading system that I have right here has been really profitable. So you look at this trade, huge profit right there. One right here, profit, profit, and this one actually hit profit too. So What's the big problem? Well, a lot of traders are only showing you the good periods of their trading stats, and this is why you never see long-term trading stats on MyFXBook or even FXBlue or any other third-party tracker. It's because people don't want you to see that. They don't want you to see that their trading strategies are failing over the longer term. And for example, I picked on this guy before, FX Daniel Savage, and I looked into his videos a little bit more, and I think that he's actually a decent trader, but he never shows long-term stats of his strategy. Is it necessary? Is it necessary to show long-term strats? I think so. Stats. I think it's necessary to show long-term data for whatever you're using, so people can validate that, and to see that this strategy is not going to burn them at some point. Yes, FX Daniel Savage. Yeah, he drives two Lamborghinis, and he uh, claims to make super ridiculous amounts of profit with low risk. But the thing is that he doesn't have any verified results. And if he saw this video, which he probably will comment on it, then he will say something like, I have two Lamborghinis to show for my stats. The thing is that nobody knows if he's actually bought those Lamborghinis with trading profits that he's making from actual trading. It's possible that he got this money from past family, or won a lottery, or got this, or borrowing money for a friend. You just never know what a person, if you can believe somebody, if whether it's on YouTube or somewhere else, when it comes to buying a system or finding a strategy or even building one based on what you're seeing online. So what I'm trying to do in this video is to let people know that everybody cherry picks what they're showing you when it comes to YouTube, and this even comes to legitimate people. Some people that are more transparent on their YouTube channels or on their websites, but the problem is that they still cherry pick. And in my channel, I try not to do that because I want to be as real as possible, even if it makes me look bad. And so that's why I'm showing you, yes, I did fail the FTMO challenge, and I have taken it 3 times, and I might take it again. I don't know, but what the bottom line is that I'm not going to cherry pick. I'm not going to give you guys some garbage that you can't believe. If I give you something, if I tell you something on my website or in person, that is how I have experienced it so far, and I'm not going to try to make things look better than they actually are, because I don't feel like that's honest. And if I'm selling a product or selling training or something like that, why give people the wrong idea if I'm not going to be able to fulfill what I'm saying, right? So this strategy that you're looking at right here, going back to the charts, you can see that it has some really awesome trades. But the thing is that it only has good trades for like a month here and a month there, and it goes on like a winning streak of like 10 or 20 in the row, and then it has a losing streak of like 30 or 40. That's the kind of drama that we deal with building a forex or a trading strategy in general. And that's the hardest thing with trading, is to try to find how to uh, figure out when the markets are going through these phases so we can use our systems accordingly and in a profitable way. So this is what I've done with my algorithms, is try to develop them so they can adapt to the market. Only problem is that they don't make as much profit as a lot of people are hoping for. So, for example, 3 to maybe 8% a month isn't a lot for somebody that has a small account. So, but if you are looking to trade in the long term, if you're looking for a strategy or an idea that can withstand time, I really recommend getting an MT4 account and looking into the tester, so the strategy tester, and running back tests on the strategies that you're seeking or you're trying to find an edge on. If you have a manual trading system, if you've built something like this, try to develop it or hire somebody to create it into an algorithm so you can see how the strategy holds up over time. A lot of people think that visual back testing is strong enough, but in most cases, visual back testing isn't very accurate, especially with a lot of MT4 indicators, because a lot of them don't go all the way back. They stop painting after a certain amount of time to lower the processing data on your computer. So I recommend not doing backtesting visually because it's really difficult to really tell how your strategy is going to do over a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of time. Um, and so making an algorithm can really push that and condense the effort and time that it may take to do backtesting correctly if you figure out how to actually how the backtesting works and how it functions and how you can utilize it. Okay, so I think that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in today's video. I may retake the FTMO challenge. I'm not sure at this point. If I'm going to retake it, I want to make sure that I'm going to pass it. And I'm still looking into my trading strategy that has the breakouts. So this one, breakout boxes. This was very similar to the NASDAQ EA that I had on the market just for about 48 hours, but realized that it was just having a big winning streak since January. But before that, it was a big loser. And so I'm looking at it to see if it can be modified and worked with to improve profit. Because I think this would be a really good strategy and idea for FTMO, considering that just on the NASDAQ 100 this month, it has a 90% win rate still, which is pretty shocking. So I'm still looking into it. It's going to be a while before I release anything like this, but I'll be using it on my own to see if anything can be squeezed out for profit. All right, thanks so much everybody for watching. See you next time.